Well, after Rang De Basanti, I was put in a box. I was the poet. I was the, if you wanted to cast somebody for a poet, they'd come to me.
Yeah.
So I was offered like at least 15 scripts where I was the poet.
जैसे हम set पे आते थे, the sets were made so beautifully, so grand that we used to feel that royal when we would enter.
Actually, मेरे लिए अगर कहानी अच्छी हो, सबसे important वो है. अगर कहानी अच्छी होती है और मैं उस कहानी के एक छोटा सा भी हिस्सा, I'm okay with it.
Hi, this is Dhrashti Dhami.
Hi, मैं हूँ Dino Morea.
Hi, मैं हूँ कुणाल कपूर और आप देख रहे हैं
और बताओ.
और बताओ.
स्तुति के साथ.
Hi guys, welcome to yet another episode of Aur Batao. This वक्त, as you can see on screen, I have quite a lot of royalty, should I say. We're talking about the new show, historical fiction hai, The Empire, and Dhrashti Dhami, we have Kunal Kapoor and Dino Morea here. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. और बताओ.
ये तो मेरा सवाल है. और बताओ. एक curiosity जो सबसे ज़्यादा है, because we haven't seen you guys do something like this. At least जितना trailer से अभी तक हमने देखा है. So how was that bit? How was like the casting thing when that script came to you, when you were told about your roles? तो क्या reaction था? क्या सोचा? क्या किया?
So of course I was waiting to switch to a OTT platform, like in the sense not switch, but at the same time consciously looking out for one. And when I went to meet Nikhil sir and when he explained me Khanzada, I don't think मेरे पास script भी था. मेरे पास सिर्फ एक page था जो बोला था ये read कर आना, because Nikhil will brief you and that time you should at least know something about it. I'm like, okay. And I think when the way Nikhil sir explained it to me, I think at that moment I just wanted him to tell me that yeah, okay, so you are our Khanzada, but that didn't happen very much, pretty much that day. But I think 2 days later I went and I met Mitakshara, and then gradually everything started falling in place, and there I was playing Khanzada, and the experience has been amazing. I've learned a lot, and I hope the audience also enjoys it.
Usually, when you play a king, and how kings are written are in a very sort of stereotypical way, I feel. They have to walk a certain way, they have to talk a certain way. This was a character that was very contradictory. He was somebody that could be very strong physically, but emotionally he could fall apart very easily, and actually needed the women in his life to
hold him together,
and show him the right way. And was a character that was the king, but was crippled with self-doubt. And I just felt that was really interesting because it gave me a chance to sort of play it in a way which is far more real, and not sort of posture, because that was my instinct as well. I should posture because I'm a king and I should talk a certain way and walk a certain way. And I think this script sort of allowed me to break that and try something which was a different way of approaching a character of an emperor.
When Mitakshara and Nikhil offered it to me, I said, this is something I need to do. And I started preparing for it. Yes, it took a lot of time because of the pandemic, but I wanted to give it everything I had because I'm doing something this large after a long time. I feel Tandav and I feel Hostages too was just a warm-up for this.
Yeah.
And this came at a time when I was so ready and just waiting. The hunger in me was... I can't explain it, it was just there. And I wanted to prove to everyone that, hey, I'm here, don't miss me, And
No, we can't. There's so much happening in your life. The film that you're producing, Helmet, I just finished an interview with the star cast there. So a lot.
Yeah, so it's all coming together. It's all coming together right now. I feel the hard work that I've put in the last couple of years, it's all sort of showing up right now. They say when it rains, it pours. And I think that's what's happening at this point in my life. And I hope I tread carefully as in what I do further. I've made many mistakes in the past, and I don't want to make those mistakes again. I think the conscious decision to take a break for some time, to say no, not to take a break, basically say no to
stuff you don't want to do,
to any rubbish, to take my grave further. I stopped doing that. And I love using this line in all my interviews that the red lights have started to turn to green now. And opportunities are, the people who just looked at me as this, romantic hero are now looking at me differently with new eyes and it's like I'm a new idea or a new concept to them. And suddenly just open up, this world of opportunities. So the fingers crossed.
So the next question, and Dino, I'm going to start with you because आपने एक बहुत honest point बोला about how now people are looking at you as if you're a new idea, and a lot of actors say this because this is something we see happening. कि अगर आप successful हो गए हैं एक तरीके के role में, we're used to seeing you, nobody dare change that. It's almost like ऐसे चल रहा है चलने दो. But if you're an actor who wants to kind of try something different, it can be frustrating. इसके साथ आपको वो मौका मिला कहीं पे, I feel आप सबके साथ ऐसे हो रहा है. What has changed now in your perspective? अब जब role आ रहे हैं तो क्या, what are you thinking? What kind of roles will get a yes from you?
Actually मेरे लिए अगर कहानी अच्छी सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट वो है. अगर कहानी अच्छी होती है और मैं उस कहानी के एक छोटा सा ही हिस्सा हूँ, I'm okay with it as long as my character is good in the story.
But must have been very tough for you to say no. वो भी आसान नहीं है.
वो एक actually बहुत मुश्किल समय था मेरी जिंदगी में. It was a really tough time because सबको ना बोलते हुए एक insecurity पैदा हो जाती है कि यार, क्योंकि हमारी इंडस्ट्री में खासतौर पर लोग देखे ना out of sight, out of mind. और तो काफी लोग ने मुझे कहा कि do something. और जब ऑफर्स आने लगे ये छोटे मतलब ओके रोल्स, तो ना कहना उस समय बहुत मुश्किल होता है बिकॉज यू बी थिंकिंग इन योर माइंड कि यार ये भी करता हूँ ताकि लोग मुझे देखें एंड दे विल सी कि अच्छा ही इज स्टिल पार्ट ऑफ द इंडस्ट्री. सो फॉर दैट टाइम ऑफ सेइंग नो वाज वेरी टफ. और मैंने ये कॉन्शियस डिसीजन लिया कि यार इंडस्ट्री के साथ जुड़ा रहना, तो इसलिए मैं कुछ और मैं करता हूँ ताकि I became a producer, and that's when I produced my first film, Film 2. And then I started working on another script, and then Helmet came out. So it was a very tough time for me at that point. And but I always feel I've always had this hope and this positive attitude कि यार अगर आप मेहनत करोगे, अगर आप फोकस करेंगे और डिसिप्लिन रहो, अपने आप पर ध्यान दे दो, प्रैक्टिस ऑन योरसेल्फ और तैयार रहो, वो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट है. मेरा ये मानना था कि
बी रेडी फॉर दैट अपॉर्चुनिटी.
अगर बाय चांस ये मौका मिले then you're ready कि अगर प्रोड्यूसर आके कहते कि यार कल शूटिंग है तो मैं तैयार. So I was ready and I was waiting and I was hungry and I was knocking on people's doors and saying यार मुझे काम दे दो. But nobody saw me the way my director Mitakshara and Nikhil saw me, and I'm thankful and so grateful to them that they said Dino can pull this off, and they had the confidence in me. And I had to prove it to everybody that I can actually pull this and basically give back in a certain way to Nikhil and Mitakshara. So I'm very grateful and thankful for this opportunity.
Well, after Rang De Basanti, I was put in a box. I was the poet. I was the if you wanted to cast somebody for a poet, they'd come to me. So I was offered like at least 15 scripts where I was the poet. And there is a box that people want to put you in, and it's very difficult for people to see you outside that box. I think the first opportunity I got was with a film called Veeram, which was a Malayalam Hindi bilingual, and that's the first time. It was Macbeth, and that was the first time a director saw me in a completely different light. And of course now with the Empire, but it does become difficult. And I was saying the other day is that it really feels like you're part of a football team. And you're sitting on the bench, and you're watching everybody else play, and you're like, I want to be part of the team. It looks like so much fun because that's what you want to do. You enjoy being an actor, but you're on the bench and you get a chance to play for a couple of minutes, and then you get back on the bench again, and you're like, but I want to play a whole game and I want to play in the team. So it can be very frustrating sometimes because you're sitting outside and watching while others are doing roles that you'd like to do. But I think, like Dino's also saying, is that what's really important is to keep practicing and keep working on yourself. And I was also, I'm very fond of writing, and I was fortunate that I was able to use that time to co-develop scripts that I really want to be part of. Because my whole thing was that if you're not being offered the work that you have your heart in, then it's important to develop the work that you have your heart in and develop the roles that you want to do. So that's what I've been doing for the last couple of years. And I think it's been a sort of very interesting circle for me because, when I was starting off, a lot of people told me, don't become an actor. You're an outsider. It's very difficult to break through. Then I was the next big thing after Rang De Basanti and, the Yash Raj films. then I was somebody that was finished.
Yeah.
And now I'm in a place where a lot of people are saying that, look, he's a very interesting actor and we've not seen enough of him. So I think the circle is going in the right direction again.
Guys, this is turning out to be a mini TED Talk series. I'm really enjoying this bit. Dhrashti, what about you? Because एक bias even for TV actors एक तरीके का होता है जो अब थोड़ा खत्म हो रहा है. But you know, like everyone shared here, कि वो box still exists जहाँ पे you want to put a certain actor in.
So the thing is that I've always done very stereotype roles all my life. I mean, the situation where I'm put in will be different. I'll be put up in a...
I like this honesty, guys. I've only done stereotypes.
No, but like TV...
Yeah.
She's very honest. She's always very honest.
Yeah.
Like TV, I mean, either the show is in Rajasthan or it'll be in Bombay or it'll be Delhi or it'll be period drama, which would be 100 years back. But the story would kind of be the same, you know, in television. And now it is changing. It is changing a lot. So, of course, I have pretty much played very similar characters, and I consciously took a call to wait it out and find something with a little better content. And of course, in that phase, there were a lot of times when I would sit with my manager and I'd be like, you know what, this is just a cameo. Let me just do it. I'll make the money. I'll keep working. And because I'm used to working, like I've been working for 12 years, and out of 12 years, I must have worked non-stop for 8 to 9 years because of all the shows that I've done. So for me, like, it's not about making the money or the fame. It's just keeping yourself active. It's just being in that hustle of, you know, fighting with time to reach on set, to be back home, to make time for family, to still find time to yourself. So of course I was missing that, and at the same time I kept telling I'm like, "Ye show kar lete yaar, kab tak wait karenge?" And he's like, "Just wait, let something nice come by, you know." And I'm like, and then every time I would, of course, sometimes I was like, "Thank God I heard him out and I didn't do it." And then there were times, of course, it was always not like, "Oh, I said no." There were times that I didn't get the part, and I swear I thank now that I didn't get that part, because
with the benefit of hindsight,
I would not got this, because I wouldn't be able to even come meet these people here. So yeah, I mean, it's worked out pretty fine, and I think finally I will be at least breaking my stereotype.
Kya baat hai. You know, can't wait to see that on screen. Anything which is period, anything, and this one is larger than life. It's you know, you've emperors and royalty involved. What's your reference point generally? मतलब उस तरीके से ना तो अब हम हैं, ना हम बात करते हैं, but I know as actors you are used to getting into the skin of the character, but एक अलग तरह की preparation for something which is like so far away from what our conceivable reality in that sense.
You know, the good thing for us, I think we all got very lucky as actors, is that firstly, like I said, I read the book and the book was amazing. It was very well detailed. But I think beyond that was the script. The script was so well written that you didn't really have to look outside the script. And to be honest, I didn't want to look outside the script because, you know, there are many different versions of the character that have already been written. There's the historian's version and multiple versions. Right?
Yeah.
And I think it's very important that as an actor, you're honest to what the director wants. Not what some historian has written or what somebody else has written, but what's on that piece of paper. And fortunately for us, that piece of paper was so detailed and all the characters were so well fleshed out that you didn't really have to look outside that. The only thing for me was to read up on the time, because you know, people have a very different mindset. They have different values, likes, dislikes. So I think that is important to understand. But I think as actors, we got very, very lucky.
मेरी ये सोच थी कि यार 500 या 600 साल पहले, who would have known how they acted, how they dressed, whatever. But जिस तरह ये पूरी टीम ने ये the clothes और jewelry और जिस तरह उन लोगों ने दुनिया बनाई, I felt कि they're making something really outstanding. It's period, no doubt. The look is period. We're giving it a feel of period. But acting को लेकर, I felt कि यार शेबानी खान में इतना वो पागलपन है. Let me introduce my own madness. So for me, my only form of preparation was ये मेरा एक नया learning है कि हर एक जो character में जिसके बारे में सोच रहा हूँ, I always compare it to an animal. And शेबानी खान, Mitakshara and me felt he'd be a Black Panther.
Okay.
So I studied Black Panthers. on YouTube and National Geography. I just watched their whole movement and how they are, and I try to imbibe and use that as much in Shaibani Khan. बस ये मेरा reference था, ये मेरा preparation था, and मैं उम्मीद करता हूँ कि people see me in this deliciously
evil, yeah.
जैसे हम set पे रहते थे, the sets were made so beautifully, so grand, that we used to feel that royal when we would enter. Wearing those clothes, wearing those jewelry, those neck pieces, those earrings. I'm just entering I used to just sit in my vanity when I was Dhrashti, and when I would get out, I would actually be in the whole Khanzada field just with the costume and the makeup and the jewelry. And of course, a lot of detailing was paid attention to by Mitakshara, our director. And of course, she gave us a lot of feel of... and history में वैसे भी Khanzada के बारे में बहुत कुछ लिखा नहीं है. Not like मैंने बहुत research करने की कोशिश भी की थी, to be honest. But I just went by what my director thought and what I kept thinking and what I kept growing into as a character. I just kept on performing.
Okay, final question, guys. Historical fiction है और sadly situation ऐसी है कि present में इसको लेके बहुत बवाल होता है. On social media, everywhere, you'll suddenly have a group that says we are offended. You'll have, people talking about it. As actors were part of this, are you slightly nervous? Or even, while you were conceiving this, doing this, was there something in your head which said कि अब इसमें पंगा हो ना जाए या मतलब क्या करें?
I think as actors, you're always nervous. As actors, you're always nervous about what's going to happen on Friday. Whether it's
not just on Friday, but generally, how will people take it? Because the second part of my question is also कि do you second guess yourself if you have to tweet something or post something? Because these days everybody is so ready to get offended. आप लोग, are you holding back, or you're like, I don't care, I'll say what I want to on social media?
No, I think see, as actors, I think you've got to just play the part. You can't be thinking about anything else, and any challenging and interesting part that comes your way, you have to go for it and do it with complete honesty. As far as social media goes, I think you have to decide how much you want to put yourself out there, because it is a place where people might praise you, but it's also a place where people might bring you down. Yeah. And really, the choice is yours. Instead of sitting and complaining about, oh God, people are trolling me or people are saying this and that, then if it bothers you, then get off. And if you really feel like, what really matters to you, you want to put it out there, then be ready to face both the sides of it.
But I'm sure you've had people advising you saying, Kunal, thoda is topic se dur rehna.
I mean, there are, but I don't listen to that, because if I want to put something out, I want to put it out. And, like last year, lots of people were saying that, the press is going after the industry.
Right.
And it's very, very unfortunate, right?
Yeah.
But my viewpoint on that is that what the bad is exaggerated as well, but we are also not as good as our PR people make us out to be. The truth is somewhere in between. We are not as bad as...
Not many people will say that.
No, we're not as bad as some of the attacks on us have been. And we are not as good as we project ourselves to be either. So, I think the truth is somewhere in between, and you've got to be ready for both.
Yeah. So where the show is concerned, where this particular show is concerned, I think we've said it many times. It's based on a book by Alex Rutherford, and now it's a huge fictional story. Yes, it's based during that era, the Mughal era. It's based on the story of Babur before he came towards the southeast. The story is more about, once you see it, it's more about how a king tries to keep the throne from detractors, like people like me who want to take it away, or his family, or the deceit, or the betrayal, or the politics. And so the drama is there. It's nothing about anything else. It's not a biopic. It's not. We're not claiming that this is history. No, It's a fictional tale. It's dramatized to make it more interesting for the audiences. Now, I mean, if you're going to be offended by that, then that's silly. But then any movie will offend you. Even Tom and Jerry should offend you, right? Yeah. Because if you like mouses, if you like mice, then Jerry gets beaten all the time. If you like cats, Tom gets whacked all the time. Where does it stop, right? So just to be clear, this is a fictional tale. And as an actor, I thought it's outstanding to be a part of something like this.
Drashti?
I think they've exactly spoken what I would want to say, so I think it's covered. I've got them really well.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Really enjoyed this conversation and looking forward to the show, of course.
Thank you. Hope
Thank you. Thanks so much.